Kevin, a point from a 1-1 draw with Alvechurch here at the Sea Stadium this evening. First half, not quite so pleasing. Second half, much better.
Yeah, I think, falling behind like we have, and it's happened on numerous occasions this season, is something that I've got to eradicate from us as a team and as a group. But yeah, you just the whole dynamic of the stadium and the belief it gives to Alvechurch, and when we're chasing the game, then is not ideal. And, to have a moment where I think we defend first phase and switch off for the second and don't clear our lines, and that's where everybody's got to understand in the team and the group how hard they've got to be against the ball. But yeah, look, it's a young man that's learning there, and I want to help him to learn and progress within his game. And certainly, as the game went on, I think, it was frustrating, and people are getting frustrated. I understand that. Alvechurch's press was good, and credit to them. They made life hard for us, and they're encouraged by the goal. I think as the first half wore on, we started to get further forward and did create a little bit of a half moment, and a couple of shots then that ended up forcing their keeper into saves. But yeah, getting back in at half time to regroup and be able to get into the lads a little bit, and then them show the reaction like they did is really pleasing. And I thought second half, I think for the best part of it, we looked the most likely side. Happy with the point. It's probably a fair point overall. I would probably say Alvechurch have come here and made got into us a little bit, and credit to them. But again, the resolve that we show as a group to keep going and keep working moments and situations. And as I say, I think we look the most likely side, and we should at home. That's what we've sort of come to expect. But delighted with the second half performance. Just a bit disappointed we haven't put the ball in the back of the net again to take all 3 points.
Sure. It's the same situation for Alvechurch, as in that they didn't play on the weekend. But we've said before about the nature of this season being a bit stop-start and not always having fixtures on Saturdays, etc. Is any of that perhaps responsible for what's happening, or?
It's hard to put your finger on and say whether it is or it isn't. It's the period we've had quite a protracted period of inactivity, haven't we? And it's not ideal. Players want to play, Saturday to Saturday, Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, whatever it might be, and want to feel that consistency and get the minutes into their legs and make sure that they're where they need to be. And unfortunately, due to no control of our own, we've not been able to have sort of Saturday games and regular Saturday games over a little while now, and it has been a bit stop-start. And I guess building up any rhythm and momentum has been a bit more of a challenge, but look, that's what you've got to get through that and deal with that, and make sure that you're understanding and you're fresh enough. As you say, Alvechurch have been out of action for as long as we have this last little while, so no excuses for it. We've got players back that are fit now, and we've got to get out there and show what they're all about. And I think, like I say, it took us a while to warm to the task. We make life hard for ourselves, but certainly the way that we finished the game was fairly encouraging.
You spoke about players showing that resolve there. Sam Whittle had the captain's armband this evening and took the penalty as well. It was that presumably he chose to do that in his role as captain.
Yeah, and Sam's it'd be one that probably started a little bit slower this season than he would have hoped. But that's a measure of what Sam is and the character that he is, and that's why he's in there, and had no hesitation in giving him the armband in Kyle's absence. I thought he was brilliant tonight. A fantastic tackle on the edge of the box, having that character to step up and take the penalty. And he's a big player for us. Local boy, love him to bits. He's a good leader in there, and he's a good boy, and he understands the level. He's a very capable player, and we need a few more to step up and show the attitude and the application that he has, certainly out there tonight.
Sure. Undoubtedly, the talking point amongst supporters will be Rhys Dyche's return, and I know there will be some people who think that perhaps with Rhys having gone in the summer, that to go back to him maybe isn't a forward move. But then again, you do know what you're going to get from Rhys with him having been here last season.
Yeah, I think you look at his return last season. I think he's 8 goals in 27 starts. I think something like that, which is a fair return. Yeah, I understand that, like I say, he's getting to the latter years of his career, but he's a man, and you need men in that changing room that can deal with situations. He'll put his chest back and he'll keep going for you. Yeah, me and him can have some frustrating moments together, and we kind of laugh about it afterwards. But he's a good character, and yes, everybody wants the profile of a 20-year-old that's coming in, that's on an upward curve, and I understand and I get all that, and yeah, we're out there searching for him, but so's everybody else, and we need to understand that. Once I knew that Reece was available, and we've needed extra firepower, no doubt about it, and we need extra bodies in that changing room. But yeah, delighted to have him back on board, and hopefully he can have a similar effect to what he had last season with us. He's come in there, worked really hard, and continues to do the right things. And like I say, whether that's off the bench or starting or however it may be, it's important that he is having a good effect on the group, and I'm sure he will.
Cool. It is that sort of like that sense of that leadership quality that he has, and that sense of being accountable that you always came across that way.
Yeah, and I think as some of the younger players look up to some of the older ones like him, and probably like Kyle, Gooch, people like that, Brandon, that have had experience at the level and beyond. And it's kind of heartening when you're in a group and you've got more of those sort of characters in that group that will step forward and will continue to lead. And even when the chips are down, like there was a period there tonight where the dynamic shifted into Alvechurch's favour. The crowd get frustrated, and we understand that, and we know each and every game that we're out there that we've got to do our utmost to make sure the crowd's totally on our side, and we're putting teams to the sword and starting in a whole lot better fashion than we have on more occasions than we're happy with this season. So challenges that lie ahead. Clearly we'll continue to try and bring good players, and yes, ideally younger players into the group, but we need to be at the sharp end, and we need to understand that they can get out there and keep us there.
Sure. So the search continues essentially.
Always, yeah. We don't stop just because you think, okay, we've got 17 in the squad now. That's not how it works. Equally, like I say, some of those players that we've seen on a consistent basis last season have had a slow start to the season, but still tried to apply themselves in the right way. I think, like I say, as the game went on, we're seeing more, I think, signs there tonight of what those players are capable of, and having that courage to receive the ball in tight areas and playing with a real purpose, and showing the quality that we know is in there. And clearly, as a manager, that's my job to bring it out of them, and if I don't, I'm responsible for it. So yeah, I understand where the buck stops, and I'm not making excuses for anybody or myself. We've got to do better, and like I say, understand how we shape and manage to win games and be successful in games.
3 games on the road now. It's Harborough on Saturday. It's Redditch on Monday. You had a look at Redditch last night in their win at Barwell, didn't you?
Yeah, look, again, another capable side. They've got some energy about them. Again, won't be easy to overcome. And there are, as you see, the shape of the league. There's everyone kind of beats everyone, and that's what's happening in the league at the moment. No one's really stepped away with it like perhaps you saw last season in Mickleover, and then obviously Needham, and we finished on a really strong run. So yeah, look, that's what you're working towards, and it's what are we, 10 games in now, and there's a couple in there that we know we've got to do better in. There's certain challenges we're going to face where teams are shuffling the pack now a little bit, and there's been some good money spent on players where teams are strengthening, but you've got to be able to deal with that and rise above it and make sure you can overcome it. And yeah, it's fantastic to work with that group, and hopefully, like I say, we keep working hard and staying consistent with what we're doing, and hopefully we can get back to winning ways hopefully Saturday.
Kevin, enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll see you in Harborough on Saturday.
Thank you.
Thank you.